2017 Shittiest Account on Twitter Tournament. Road to the Fuccboi 4, the final meltdown. Selection Special. Brought to you by Shakeology, the shittiest meal of the day. By Gay Hooters, home of the world famous Benghazi wings. And by Soul Cycle, here to cock you up. The Soul Cycle.
Welcome everyone to the 2017 Shittiest Account on Twitter Tournament, Road to the Fuccboi 4, the final meltdown. I'm host Greg Gumbel, and with me as per usual is Hall of Fame coach John Thompson. Well, Coach, we are in our final year of the Shit Account tourney, much to some people's delight and to the chagrin of others. What do you think's going to happen this year, Coach?
Well, first of all, I'm very sad that this is the final year. I've had a great time analyzing this tournament for 4 years now, and I expect this year's tournament to be spectacular, much like last year's tournament, right down to the wire, full of shittiness.
All right, Coach, well said. Well, should we check out these brackets?
Let's check out the brackets, Greg.
Okay, Coach, well, let's first recap our shit-in matchups, which took place last Tuesday. Matchup 1 was Pixelated Boat against Michael Ian Black. Matchup 2 was Lauren Southern against Scott Pressler. Number 3 was Dan Bedandi against PewDiePie. And number 4 was veteran Real James Woods against former champion David Javerbaum. Honorary 69 seed goes to Baked Alaska, who recently got suspended for being a piece of shit. Coach, when you look at these matchups and the results below, what do you think?
Well, Greg, first I gotta say, none of these matchups were full of any sort of drama. It was pretty much 4 blowout victories. If I were to be surprised about one, which I somewhat am, it's the Real James Woods versus Javerbaum matchup, number 4. I thought this would be very close. We've got Real James Woods, who's making a comeback as of late, and same with Javerbaum, who is a former champion. I thought this would go down to the wire, but it did not. So Real James Woods advanced. The rest of the matchups, I thought the voters certainly picked the correct shitty account. Lauren Southern, I'm excited to see her match up with a certain number 1 seed. We will find out why in a second.
Okay, Coach, well, let's move on to the field of 64. This is what everyone's been waiting for. And we'll start out here in the Man Thread region, aptly named after number 1 overall seed Eric Garland. He'll be taking on shit-in match 1 victor Michael Ian Black. The 8-9 matchup is Harlan versus Kid Rock. Number 4 seed is 4-year veteran Matt Walsh Blog against Governor Mike Huckabee. Number 5 is CM Clymer, and he'll be playing number 12 Brandon Wardell. Number 3 is Resistance comedian, if that's what you want to call her, Jen Kirkman. And she'll be matching up against Mia Khalifa. Number 6, Oh No She Twidn't, against Sadie Doyle at the 11. Number 7 seed is Joan Walsh, and she'll be taking on Eclectic Brother. And number 2 is Still Gray, Ian Miles Chong against Sarah K. Silverman. Coach, what do you think about the Man Thread region?
Well, Greg, very strong, very, very strong. We've got Eric Garland, who tweeted the modern-day Federalist Papers and has since been man-threading all year long. We've got Harlan at number 8, very strong 8 seed. That's Todd Starnes' nephew, I believe. And if we go down to the bottom of the bracket, we've got Jen Kirkman, just extremely shitty year, maybe underseeded here at number 3. and she might have to run into still great Ian Miles Chong. What I really look at here as well is Sadie Doyle at number 11. That's criminally underseeded in my opinion. She's a veteran, and Oh No She Twidn't is as well, but not as strong as Sadie Doyle. Very loaded bracket. The first 4 seeds in this bracket very strong.
Okay, Coach, let's move forward. And we're on to the Rotten Tire region. Named after Laura Loomer, who's the number 1 seed here. She'll be taking on Lauren Southern. Number 8 seed is PFT Commenter against Jason Whitlock at the 9. Number 4, Cassandra Fairbanks against Notch at 13. Number 5, Scott M. Says, the Dilbert guy, will be taking on Sheriff Clark, the black GOP sheriff guy. Speaking of man threads, from the man thread region, we move on to Seth Abramson, who is a man threader in his own right. He'll be playing True Facts Stated, who's the 14 seed. Jill Filipovich is at 6 and J.K. Rowling 11. Joyanne Reed is the 7 seed and she'll be playing JKH2. And the number 2 seed is Jack Posobiec, and he will be playing Jenna Jameson. Coach, what do you think?
Well, very strong. First of all, not quite as strong as the man thread region, in my opinion. But you do have Laura Loomer with her shitty performance journalism and her rotten tire that she pretended was slashed by someone from Antifa. She's very strong. Cassandra Rule's very strong. The Dilbert guy, former number 1 seed. I look to the white suit guy here. He's also very strong. And Jill Filipovich is a veteran as well. I don't know if I've ever been as excited about a number 1 versus 16 matchup as I am here, though. Laura Loomer and Lauren Southern, they get into beefs on the timeline quite often, and it's hopefully going to result in some sort of meltdown either way. Pretty strong bracket, not as strong as the man thread, but should be fun to watch.
Okay, great analysis as usual, and let's move on. Our third region is the Soul Cycle region, where we find David Portnoy, Stool Presidente, at the number 1 spot. He'll be matched up against PewDiePie, winner of Shit-In matchup number 3. 8-9 is Barstool Big Cat versus Britt McHenry. Number 4, Sarah Lerner against number 13, Stefan Molyneux. Number 5, Sasha Stone versus Joss at number 12. Number 3, Sally Albright plays against Larry Website, the woke DSA guy. Number 6 is Clay Travis, and he'll be taking on Michael Rappaport. Number 7 seed goes to Clara Jeffrey against Al Giordano. And number 2 is Luis Mensch, and number 15 returning is Lena Dunham. Coach, what do you think?
This bracket doesn't particularly arouse me in the same way that those first 2 do, but you do have some contenders here. You've got Portnoy at number 1, very shitty. You've got Sarah Lerner, the mastermind behind Shitty Account If Hillary Had. You've got Sasha Stone, Sally Albright, a dark horse in this tournament, if you ask me. And you got Al Giordano, a crowd favorite for his propensity to melt down, as we saw last year on the Shakeology Meltdown Tracker. Maybe the strongest account in this Soul Cycle region is Louise Mensch. She's a very shitty, conspiracy-driven shitty account, and very consistently shitty throughout the year. I will be interested to see how far she goes.
Okay, and here we go with our final region, the Hentai region. Named after Kurt Eichenwald and his weird octopus porn. He'll be taking on Real James Woods, who won Shit-In matchup number 4 against former champion David Javerbaum. Number 8 is Space Cat Gal, Brianna Wu, against Tommy Lauren. Number 4 is Peter Dow against Carl Beijer. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but he's shitty. Number 5 is M. Tracy against Grant J. Kidney. Number 3, Prison Planet against Lucian Wintrich. Number 6, Candice Aston against Peter Sweden 7 at the 11 seed. And number 7 is Sarah Kenzior, and she'll be playing Dana Loesch. And at the final matchup is number 2 seed Cernovich against Garrison Graphics. Coach, what do you think about the hentai region?
Well, now, you want to talk about a strong top 4. You got Kurt Eichenwald, you got Peter Dow, you got Prison Planet, and you got Cernovich. Now, it doesn't get much stronger than that. Perhaps the strongest of top 4s we have. I'd look at the rest of this bracket, and I don't see anyone else other than those top 4 getting to the shitty 16 here. In which case, after that, it'll be an extreme bloodbath. Cernovich versus Prison Planet, Peter Dow against Kurt Eichenwald. Very strong matchups. Should be very, very fun to watch.
Okay, Coach. And now we go to our segment on bubble accounts. We call it Flushed. These shitty accounts were flushed down the toilet. But let's find out why. We had Ben Shapiro, we got Floyd Rivers, we've got Amanda Marcotte, Kate Reads Books, Kumail Nanjiani, Rapin' Bill, nice name, not, Arthur Effect, and Shit Account Tour? Coach, can you help me make sense of this?
I will try. I'll try my best, Greg. Well, first of all, Ben Shapiro. He's only 5'1", doesn't have the athleticism to, get through these strong, shitty accounts. Cloyd Rivers, people are bored of this bullshit. I don't blame them. He's a very shitty account, but he's had his time, and now it's over. Amanda Marcotte, we've got enough resistors in this bracket, as you could see. Kate Reads Books, a very shitty concept. Reading books and highlighting words and grifting. Not shitty enough, apparently. Kumail Nanjiani, he's basically Michael Ian Black light. The committee told me it was between this guy and Michael Ian Black, and Michael Ian Black was just simply shittier. Rapin' Bill, the Ricky Vaughn guy, racist piece of shit, not very provocative these days. There's a lot of racist piece of shit. This guy doesn't particularly stand out to me. Arthur Effect, last year's number 1 seed. He's basically got ICP Chad syndrome. He's blocked everyone on the internet. So he's out. And Shit Account 2, a very shitty account, but makes a lot of people very angry, and I like that.
Okay, Coach, and let's go to your award-winning picks, shall we?
Let's do it, Greg. Now, as you can see, I've filled out my entire bracket this year. So if you're gambling on the tournament, you're welcome. But let's focus on the shitty 16 here. In the Man-Thread region, I got Garland, I got Clymer, I got Jen Kirkman, I got Chong. From there, I've got Garland versus Chong, which will be one of the better matchups in this tourney, and I got Chong pulling off the upset. Over to the Rotten Tile region, I've got Luma over Cassandra Ruse. I've got Jill Filipovich making it as a 6th seed to the Excrement 8 over Joyanne Reed. Luma takes care of Filipovich. Down to the Soul Cycle region, I got Stool Presidente over Sarah Lerner. I got Mensch over Albright in a very, very epic match. And I got Mensch over Portnoy, because the Stool fans are going to make sure of that. Down to the final region, the hentai region, I got Eichenwald defending champ over Peter Dow. I got PJ Dubs against Cerno. I got Cernovich winning that matchup. I got Eichenwald over Cerno in the hentai. In the Fuckboy 4, I got Chong upsetting the former defending champ Kurt Eichenwald. I got Luma over Mensch. And I've got Laura Luma upsetting and shocking the world as the shittiest account of 2017.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always for joining us and with your expert analysis. And remember, the 2017 Shittiest Account on Twitter tournament, the final meltdown, will begin tomorrow. And you, yes, you, control the results via Twitter polls. The voting starts tomorrow at noon and will occur every other day. The final Shittiest Account on Twitter will be crowned on Friday, December 21st. Good night, everybody!